Okay, I'm going to do a real quick demo of AutoInventoryAI, just so you can understand it. Fairly simple here. You log in, the home page is going to show you any of the vehicles that you have flagged one inside the bidding tool. And so you've actually bought something inside Auto Value AI and you flagged it as one, they would automatically appear here. And so you could just touch one of these icons, one of these little cards, and it would go into inventorying that particular vehicle. But let's say that you bought one off the street, or maybe you did not have our bidding tool and you bought one from the auction, but you didn't use the bidding tool to help you do it. Just paste the VIN right here. I've already got one I found there. Paste the VIN, hit the search button. If the vehicle was already in this queue here, it would identify that vehicle for you. This particular one is not yet in our inventory management system, and it's saying let's create a new one and pre-fill everything from the auction because it realizes that it came from IAA. Actually, a week away looks like. It's I got next week's date on. I just grabbed a VIN coming up for one day next week. It brings the pictures in from the auction, and then right below that is everything associated with what you'd create in a stock ticket record or an MVR record. Now, this particular test I'm doing right now, demo, is logged in as a PowerLink user. And the screens here look like a PowerLink stock ticket record screen where you've got vehicle data, source, insurance, costs and fees, and VIN. And notice that everything that we can possibly pre-populate are coming in pre-populated, exactly what the story is, what's going on with each of them, who the owner is, where it's coming from, certificate of title. And so there is a lot number right there coming in from IAA. Cost, if you had a cost, you could put a salvage cost in right there, just say it cost you $1,500. You could do that right there. Then options, again, anything we have, we're pre-populating. You may decide you want to repopulate something just a little bit more. You definitely could. Okay, and then maybe you want your PowerLink or Pinnacle to auto assign a stock number. Maybe you want to create one yourself, and so 260708, just make one up right here. Click off of that, and then I'm going to click Add Vehicle, and it's going to create that stock ticket record in your PowerLink or an MVR record in your Pinnacle system. So it just created that stock ticket record for us. It is now done. And it is ready to move forward. So that's step one. We'll go to step two. There are the photos of it. It brought those photos in from the auction. And let's just say I want to import those photos in automatically. Yes. And so those photos come in. If you didn't want to reuse those photos, you obviously would be running this probably on a tablet. Shoot pictures of the car with the tablet. Even if you've got these pictures in here, you definitely could take another 40 or 50 pictures down here. You can just say, hey, I want to take some more pictures of the front so I can take parts, take pictures of these other parts. And you can, again, take as many pictures as you want, and then you kind of tie into which part types you want to tie them to. This system will create images tied to your stock ticket record / MVR, and it will also create images tied to each individual inventory record for you. Push those into PowerLink, Pinnacle, or Checkmate. We're actually doing everything in Checkmate now too. So we took the photos, they are there, and now let's go to the 20 questions. Everything that we can answer has already been answered. And you may say, hey, I don't like this being too long. I'm limited on how long I can be. I'm going to shrink that down just a touch. I'm going to shrink down that to just be automatic. And so you want to answer a few more 20 questions, feel free to. They're right there. Just answer those right quick. Universal options, same story. If you want to answer anything, you can right there. So you got all the questions answered. Then you move on to the part inventory creation tab. Just click that. And now it has analyzed those pictures to determine what's good and what's bad. And it's got, that left rear door is obviously bad in that one there. And so it flagged it as bad. Quarter panel is bad and rear bumper is bad. And so those have already been flagged as bad. But if you wanted to override one and say, I'm going to call it good, you just override it right there and you can call it good if you wanted to. Notice it has given you let me get up here at the top. It's giving you a store number, a category, and some are U, some are Y, based on settings. Are those parts planned to be pulled and tagged or not? And so, it's all configured in the settings as to what you normally would do. It's evaluated the part to say, hey, this is an A grade part or a B grade part. It's looked for damage, and if it's got damage, it would flag the damage on it. ARA damage codes would be assigned according to what kind of damage is there. The conditions and options, or the description of the part, depending on if you're PowerLink or if you're Pinnacle or Checkmate, it's auto filled in based on the 20 questions and other analysis that we've done. And you can notice right there it says ran great. You can actually put in specific language you want for each part type. You may decide, hey, I want my engines to all say ran great. You can do that. And maybe you want to say ran great, and then the other stuff based on settings, you could absolutely have it auto populate exactly like that right there. And so it's right there for you to do however you want it to do. And so it could auto populate exactly like that. You've got a privacy flag if you want to make the part private. You've got your in stock quantity on hand, so your yards quantity on hand, and a maximum quantity on hand that you may want to have. Our system has two different maximums. You can do a maximum number of exact parts in the warehouse, or a maximum number of total parts within your inventory. If you surpass what the limit is in your warehouse, say this is flagged to be a pulled part and go in the warehouse, you is a warehouse category for PowerLink, just so any of the Pinnacle or Checkmate guys may not realize that. But it would change this to Y. It would turn off the tag, and it would let you inventory it into the yard automatically based on what your quantity on hand is that's already in the warehouse. And then if you've got a limit for maximum and maybe you don't want to exceed that maximum, it would recommend that that part go to core, and there's actually, this lights up as core for you. So it's recommending that part go to core, and then on the dismantler worksheet, it tells each part that needs to go to core, it flags those as core also. You got your 90-day sales history, 90-day demand. Again, we're on a test server. I don't have anything to really populate there. Your standard wholesale, standard B price will be populated here. Your average invoice amount for that same interchange number would be displayed here. Average asking price if you've got some in stock. Einstein price, if you're using the Einstein pricing tool, then we want to locate and see what's the average regional price around you. And then this wholesale and retail, or if you're Pinnacle, it's just one price field. It's just like screen price, or actual might be what it's called. I'm not sure. I was a PowerLink yard, my yard. But you've got, wholesale and retail. Those can be different based on settings, and this can be a percentage of any of these figures before, or an average, marked up average, discounted average, however you want that to work. It's all configurable. Say you wanted to double check the interchange, you can double check the interchange. You could change it to be a different interchange number if you realize that maybe it might be a little bit different or something. It is editable right there also. But the interchange selection should be correct. 97, 98% of the time. The good and bad is correct 99% of the time. And so you run through and eyeball the stuff that you want to eyeball and say, hey, I don't want to inventory that. You could say, yep, I don't want to inventory that that cat, and so I don't want to inventory it. I'm going to leave the supercharger turbo on the engine. Let's don't do that. That's a configurable setting too. I can show you where that actually can be configured to not inventory a turbo if you've inventoried the engine, because some guys do, some guys don't. And so you can just review what's going on, and maybe you want to omit one or add one. You can do whatever you want, and then it has pre-selected basically 79 parts that are good, filtered out 105 based on settings that you've got. All of a sudden it's like, oh, I really want to inventory this other part. Click on filtered and then run down and find that part you want to inventory. I want to inventory that roof assembly. And so you do an add back, and we go back over to all, and now we've got a roof assembly that's over there. And so I don't know where it went to, but it's over here somewhere on this order. The order is adjustable as to what order you want it to appear in also, and so that's configurable. If you want certain part types to be on top, I've just drug these two to the top just to show that those can be on the top. So theoretically we could inventory 189 parts on this particular Encore. I've seen some vehicles go up to 250, 275, just depending on how many interchange numbers and what we've got. We can create interchange or create dot numbers for stuff we don't have interchange for. So if you do want to inventory parts that do not have Hollander interchange numbers, we can create those non-exact or alternate numbers there for you. And then we just click submit, and it pushes that right on into your PowerLink, Pinnacle, or Checkmate system. And then once that gets created, it'll pop up and say, hey, it created those 85 parts. And then it would, or should be 80 parts, actually, looks like. Oh, we already pushed 10 in, didn't we? And then you could print a worksheet and have that dismantler worksheet ready to go, and print that. And these would be anything that's flagged with a U, or I guess Pinnacle and Checkmate would be W. And so if you flagged a part with that different category of being a warehouse part, it would show up here, so your guy would know to pull the part and put it in the warehouse. It'd be right there for you. And so you could print this out and be good to go. Or you could configure the system to actually email that directly to the yard. You could come back over here and click on the printer button and just print the ones that you want to print. So you got one you did earlier today and you want to print a worksheet out, just click the print button right there. And then any kind of job that you have not completed would be jobs in process, this tab here. So these may be you've created a stock ticket record or an MVR, but you haven't taken pictures of it and pushed the parts into inventory yet. This would be where you could come back here and actually review something before you pushed all those parts into inventory. So you could review all the inventory and it's like, hey, yeah, everything does look good. I'm on my desktop machine now. And then you submit those parts and push those into inventory. And so that can be done absolutely in multiple stages. And so you could create a stock ticket record at the time of purchase, take the pictures out in the holding area, come back inside, finish it up from the desktop. You're just logging in, and it's there either under home for stuff you haven't started yet, or under jobs for something you have not pushed into inventory yet. Or you can click the printer button and print stuff that you've already completed and done. And so it's fairly simple. It's easy to do. You could do up to 200, 250 parts per vehicle, and you just saw I did it in 2 or 3 minutes. You may spend a little bit more time validating it and double checking a few things, but yeah, it's pretty quick and seamless to push those parts in, and even works for cars you buy off the street. And so if you got any questions, holler at me. Appreciate you.